Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/get-started. That's GREENLIGHT.com/get-started.
The sexual behavior of animals.
Of animals, yeah. No, I know. It's a little broad, but I was thinking about it. Between all the fun facts I know and, all my scorching witticisms on animal husbandry that I always have, this is really a chance for me to turn things around for my, reputation. You know what I'm saying?
So? Things.
I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm always the butt of the joke on our shows, in a negative way, not even in a funny, positive way, just a clearly negative way. I want people to take my intellect seriously. Yeah, I can have fun. I like to mess around. I like jokes. But maybe what they appreciate about me after this is I'm also a knowledgeable and intelligent person. I just want to,
okay, but all right, but did you run this past Eli and Tom?
Well, no, but I figured if you guys get on board, it's all set. If we sort of come into the episode hey, we're going to have fun for sure. But this is highbrow humor and wordplay and intellectual stuff. I think they'll follow along.
Maybe, but 3 votes doesn't really count.
Get your Heath getting fucked by a horse t-shirt here. He's getting fucked by a horse.
Fucks a horse water bottles, $1.
Okay. Just $5. Heath gets fucked by a horse on a t-shirt. You can see it.
No. Okay. That tracks. I should have seen that coming.
Hey, can I get one of those in extra large?
Oh, yeah, me too.
Seriously? You two? You guys? Really?
Do $5?
$5, man. Come on.
Yeah, I'll take one too. It's a large.
Is it a beefy tee?
Hello and welcome to Citation Needed, the podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts, because this is the internet and that's how it works now. I'm No Illusions. I'm going to be the fluffer this week, which means I'm going to need some dicks. 2 men whose physique is best described as engorged, Tom and Eli.
Yeah, engorged, like a tick. Eli will cure your Lyme disease.
I'll suck something.
Yeah, no. And also joining us tonight, 2 men whose physique is best described as flaccid, Heath and Cecil.
It's my whole life's the refractory period.
When I get cold enough, I retreat inside myself.
Yeah, no.
Like an Ouroboros.
And of course, before we get this going, we wanted to take a minute to thank our patrons. Patrons, in most jobs, that would have been a very inappropriate way to introduce my coworkers. But thanks to you, I don't have to go to HR right now. If you'd like to learn how to join their ranks, be sure to stick around to the end of the show. And with that out of the way, tell us, Heath, what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event will we be talking about today?
We're going to be talking about the sex organs and reproductive behavior of some especially interesting members of the non-human animal kingdom. Just my personal favorites. We'll do a little review.
All right, so I don't want to do the what are now. So where does our story begin?
We're going to start with honeybees. They have what I'd call a matriarchal royalty caste system that's reinforced by eugenics, actually. It's kind of like England, but more effective.
Okay. You know what I mean? Bees are racist. That's what Heath just said. Bees are racist.
Yep. And the UK. So every bee has a predetermined job in the colony based on a genetic engineering process during sexual reproduction. A lot of people know about the queen and the drones and the workers. Those are the roles. The workers are all female, and they run the whole honey-making operation. And they're pretty much all sterile thanks to a pheromone released by the queen that shuts down fertility for all the other females. The queen ends up being the mom for entire generations of bees for that colony. And that leaves the drones, which are the males. And they have literally one single job. They all exist just for impregnating the queen. After the queen is born, almost immediately, like problematically soon after being born, she goes out on a giant sex romp. She flies to a place called a drone congregation area where thousands of male bees are just waiting to do their one job. It sounds like a goddamn nightmare at that area. The location of that place is hardwired into the queen somehow. And when she flies by, she picks up a big line of drones and they start chasing her and taking turns fucking in midair.
Trapeze college. I'm so sorry, Heath, you were saying?
Apparently, the getting pregnant happens with tiny little bee penises and bee vaginas. That's how they do it.
Yeah.
I know you kind of have to have something like that, but like in my head, it wasn't like there was a dick and vagina. There is. Bees have that.
It doesn't look like yours. It's not like a tallywhacker with balls hanging there.
You're doing a speech by Madison Cawthorn on the floor of the fucking Congress right now? So I learned today type of thing here. The male bees have penises. The female bees have vaginas. The male bees chase the queen.
Didn't you see Kindergarten Cop? And you know what? Never mind.
I did see that. I don't remember the bee genitalia part. Anyway,
it's the birds.
So they
and
chase
the bees,
the queen. They set up like a fly fucking assembly line, and one by one, they inject sperm into the queen with their endophallus, is what it's called. And it looks like, you know, that expanding foam sealant that you put in like the basement if there's like an air leak? It's like that, but somehow an evil version of that expanding foam sealant. It's
interesting.
Terrifying.
So they should call this entire thing Be Cocky. The whole ordeal.
That's fantastic. Okay. So that's when the drone literally dies after they do the endophallus thing. They inject the sperm. They die right after that. According to Popular Science, once a drone finishes, the tip of his penis explodes.
Okay.
He falls to the ground and slowly dies. So the tip of the endophallus remains stuck in the queen until the next drone in that assembly line hops on, and that next drone pulls out the old like penis rubble that's stuck in there to make room for his. That's how they do it.
Now that's what I call sloppy
Yeah,
seconds.
right? Or 43rds or whatever. Yeah.
Man, fuck bees. They are the single-use plastic of the animal kingdom. Fucking die at the fuck.
So during this fuck romp, the queen collects about 100 million sperm in her oviducts, and she'll use those for the rest of her life to fertilize eggs. But she'll do that selectively as part of that genetic engineering caste system I was talking about. As her eggs pass through the ovary and into the oviduct, the queen gets to decide one by one whether a particular egg gets fertilized. The unfertilized eggs become drones, and the fertilized ones become workers or potentially a queen.
Man, I wish humans could do that.
Honey, I'm home.
Oh, darling, you're back.
How are my two favorite people?
Well, one's growing and the other's kicking.
I bet. So, have you had any thought as to what we're having yet?
Well, you know, my sister had all plumbers. She wants to start a family business.
Oh, come on now, honey.
No. That's her thing. I was thinking maybe something super smart, like a rocket scientist or a brain surgeon.
A brain surgeon? That's so basic. We might as well hang a live, love, laugh sign on the wall, darling.
Look, I am not making an athlete. You can forget about that.
Oh, come on, he doesn't have to go pro. Just something he can do through college, like wrestling or lacrosse, and then he can do whatever he wants.
That's not how this works.
You know, I wish you ladies weren't allowed to choose whatever kind of baby you have. I feel utterly powerless.
You know what? That's it. Just for that, I'm going to have a podcaster.
You wouldn't dare.
I hope you don't have big plans for the basement, because he's going to be living there till he's 40.
I'm leaving.
Okay, or maybe I don't. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so we started small with the honeybee. Now we're going to go fucking huge with the blue whale, which is the largest creature to ever exist on Earth, including all the known dinosaurs. The blue whale penis is about 10 feet long and weighs up to 990 pounds.
Jesus.
And the blue whale vagina is like, well, it's something big enough to deal with that.
That's 99 pounds a foot.
It's a lot. In Moby Dick, by the way, Herman Melville says the skin of a whale penis makes a good floor-length apron to keep you clean while you skin the rest of the whale.
What?
Yeah. Well, the only problem is you have to hold your upper half of your body at like a 33-degree angle to get full coverage. And
if you splash it in cold water on it, only covers half the area. Yeah.
Sorry, Heath, did you find it improper to mention the dimensions of a whale vagina, or you couldn't find the information? Because this is a weird place to be
It's
coy.
whatever the amount to deal with the thing. You're being coy. Okay, so in terms of mating behavior, we don't know very much about the blue whale. I did a bunch of Googling and I did not find the explicit videos that I was hoping for. Sadly, the science people, they're really not taking it seriously. There's not a lot of videos out there. They haven't found it, but they know a little about the mating ritual. So normally, blue whales travel alone, but when it's time for mating, they pair up and the male follows around the female for weeks at a time. And sometimes a second suitor shows up and then we get a contest. The female at that point swims up to the surface of the water and starts going extra fast. And the two males have to keep up. While they're racing, they do like tail slashing and headbutting and they kind of fight each other. And the theory is that the female gets to decide on a mate based on physical fitness and, like Jack Reacher headbutting skill. And then she takes on, a 10-foot long, 990-pound whale dick right after that. The one that's better.
Once again, I find myself very grateful not to be a blue whale. Just, hey, I know he's way out in front, but I'm actually very funny. And I know quite a few. She's gone. They're both gone. I'm going to throw up some perfume.
Yeah, so that's how, the whale population still exists because of that. And now that we're on the subject of impressive maritime genitals, let's talk about the dolphin as well. This is very important. As we learned in a past episode, actually, dolphins are sexually advanced creatures that do it for breeding and for fun. They're totally about some hedonism sex. Sometimes they even do it with human beings who decide to make human dolphin hand jobs their life's work is a real thing.
Hi there, first-time listener.
Hey, yeah.
dig into that back catalog.
Check out that back catalog. Jack the Flipper episode. And in terms of their anatomy, the dolphin penis is extremely advanced. They have a prehensile penis.
Lucky bastards.
Right? That means, in case you don't know that weird word, that means it can swivel around and grab stuff like kind of like a human hand.
Or a monkey's tail. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It can do a bunch of cool, like skillful stuff, except it's also a really big aquatic penis instead of, a monkey tail or human hand. Like huge, but skillful.
Yeah. Two gay dolphins can do a hand job inception.
Prehensile dick. That's just like a dolphin hanging upside down from a tree by its cock. Like, fuck yeah, I'm into this. This is good.
Also, fun fact, another animal with a prehensile skill penis is the tapir. And apparently they can use it to scratch their own back in, that one spot you can't usually get with your hands. They can scratch their back.
That's my whole
with their
back.
dick. Okay, so back to the dolphins. The shocking level of penile dexterity in dolphins actually makes a lot of sense evolutionarily, considering the way it worked out with the dolphin vagina evolutionarily. Apparently the vagina is a very complex labyrinth in there. Like all the way complex. You got to answer riddles. You got to deal with like David Bowie and he's got contact. It's like a whole thing. So in order to navigate all the twists and turns and have a chance at getting sperm to the right place, the dolphin penis had to have all that prehensile skill. So it does.
But if you're having sex with a dolphin, dealing with David Bowie is the least of your concerns, I think, right?
But here's the thing. Lots of male dolphins never even get that far. Apparently, female dolphins are very selective and they're really good at blocking. When undesirable potential mates show up, they often just outswim the guy or they do a big tail slap and the guy goes away.
Yikes.
But if that doesn't work, thanks to a genius female dolphin who first invented this move, they go to the surface of the water and then they swim belly up. So it's impossible to get near the vagina, regardless of the prehensile ability. It's up and they can't get there.
And then one day a big brain dolphin just shoots out of the water and lands on her like Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Trapeze college.
Yeah, until she swims under that tree full of monkey-tailed dick dolphins or whatever, and then bam, it's just a kamikaze gangbang falling on her.
This was the original plot of Banjo-Kazooie, but they toned it down.
It's true.
You got to play the beta.
It's a fun fact. So we're all having fun with the maritime penis and vagina situation. So let's keep it going with the barnacle next up. That's the little crustacean that suctions itself onto rocks and the hulls of boats and the bodies of big turtles and whales. They're about 1/2 inch to 1 inch in diameter, and they have a penis that's about 9 times that long.
What? Really?
And yeah, so impressive just ratio-wise. And apparently that ratio is because they have sex kind of like imagine a bunch of refrigerator magnets just groping in all directions, hoping for the best, trying to fuck each other. Yeah, that's how it works. Barnacles actually have both a penis and a vagina, but for some reason, they almost never fuck themselves, which is crazy to me, but apparently they don't. Instead, they reach out and try to find a mate nearby or far by with their enormous fucking barnacle penis. It actually extends out like a muscle telescope using a series of folded telescopic rings.
Jesus.
And then when breeding season is over, it shrinks all the way down and sometimes falls off completely. And then they just regrow a new one for the next mating season. All right. Next up, we have the anglerfish. And if you're noticing a pattern of very problematic males when it comes to sexual behavior, yeah, that's pretty much universal just across all the animal species. And the male anglerfish is no exception.
Well, at least I didn't give him a Grammy.
So the male anglerfish is much smaller than the female, and it finds a way to become part of the female body for some parasite sex. That's their technique. The male hunts down a potential mate and sinks its teeth into the side of her body. And then enzymes in his mouth start melting away her skin and eventually melting away also his mouth.
Okay, ow.
And they fuse together. It's fucking terrifying. Once they're fused, the male taps into the circulatory system of the female, and she goes and gets all the food for both of them at that point. And he just kind of sits there like half melted and puts sperm just everywhere and hopes for the best. And sometimes it's not just the one guy. Scientists have observed female anglerfish with 8 dudes melted inside them at the same time.
Oh, Jesus.
Just all making a huge mess of sperm all over the fucking place.
That's pretty much every season of The Bachelorette, though.
Right, yeah.
That's a format. For sure.
Yeah, and every guy a woman's ever financially supported while he gets his master's degree. We get it.
All right. Next up, we have sharks. So their sexual experience is apparently a serious task. They often go upside down together with their heads kind of smushed into the ocean floor to help anchor their position that they're going to use. And for extra stability, the male will sometimes bite down on the female's pectoral fin and then insert his clasper into her cloaca. The cloaca is the multipurpose inbound/outbound sex and also shitting and peeing area. And the clasper is, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a clasper, and then it opens the area for the penis.
Yeah, and you know
part.
that jingle. Clasp on. Clasp on. I'm very old. I'm old.
Yeah, but honestly, though, the mental image of a shark trying to turn off a clapper is pretty fucking priceless, Tom. So thank you for that.
Stupid fins don't reach.
And unlike most forms of baby making, the gestation process in certain sharks involves I'd call it a fetal cannibalism tournament. So this is common in species that give live birth, like the sand tiger shark. Females can have up to 12 babies in utero at the same time. But apparently only 2 of those fetuses make it through the tournament alive and actually get born. The female usually mates with multiple males at the same time. So she'll often have as many as a dozen little shark fetuses in there with all different genetics. The super aggressive ones eat the other ones, and those aggressive ones emerge victorious. Usually, both winners are from the same father.
It's so weird that there's a detente there.
At some point, they're like the last 2 at a poker tournament. They're like, all right, deal. We got a deal.
Yeah, you want to just split?
You want to just both not die? Cool.
The worst part is that shark anti-choicers have to dive into your uterus dressed as a referee to break them up. It's a whole thing.
All right. Now we're going to segue from sea to land with some amphibian fucking. So it kind of just makes sense in terms of the narrative. In particular, we're going to talk about the alligator. Their mating ritual it's pretty standard, actually. You know, back rub, snout rub, bang it out. But unlike most penis havers, the alligator is erect at all times. The penis is layered with stiff collagen, and it's always ready. They keep it inside their cloaca most of the time, and then when the sex is about to happen, the lady alligator presses like a button on the male belly, and the permanently erect penis shoots out like a switchblade and is just ready to go.
I would pay to have one of those. That's amazing.
If it doesn't come out the first time, you have to hold the button down for 8 seconds for a hard reset.
Okay, I feel a little confused because I think I just learned that every 15-year-old boy was once actually an alligator.
Yeah, maybe. So now that we're back on land, we're going to start simple with the flatworm. They're one of the simplest animals on Earth, but their mating ritual sounds like a fun little game. The flatworm, much like the barnacle, has both male and female parts. And again, rather than fuck itself, which again is crazy to me. I just want to repeat that. If you had a vagina, you wouldn't be just going to town all the time on it. It feels like you would. But they don't do that either. They tend to pair off and have a penis fencing duel thing between the two of them. Their penis is shaped like a 2-headed dagger.
Whoa.
And they have a knife fight with those until one flatworm gets a stab through the skin of the other and into the body. The one that got stabbed becomes a mother, and the father keeps on having dick fights like that until it eventually loses a dick fight and also becomes a mother. And in rare cases, they actually get a double KO by getting stabs at the same time, and they both become a mother-father at the same time, which is kind of cool.
I've decided that's what should happen in the Street Fighter video games as well.
I don't think that it should.
They do have double KOs.
Fucking mother-father. I'm confused. How do they know which one wears sandals with socks and clicks the barbecue tongs? This is very confusing.
So another animal that flips the script on our traditional understanding of gender roles is a microscopic eyeless cave insect indigenous to Brazil called the Neotrogla. Instead of a male penis that deposits sperm and a female vagina receiving the sperm, they have the opposite going on. The female Neotrogla mounts the male, and they have a penis with a vacuum function that sucks up the sperm from the male vagina, which acts as a reservoir. And the female penis vacuum varies by subspecies to fit the exact male vagina in their population with a series of bristles, kind of like the attachments of a vacuum, you know, that get into like the corners and along the baseboards to get all the sperm from everywhere.
Well, right, but then you lose one and you end up using the long thing for everything, and it takes forever. That's the problem with that female vacuum penises.
All right, next up, we have another insect with a penile situation that's a little bit unorthodox as well. The damselfly has a penis that evolved to be more than just a tool for passing on its DNA. It's also used to prevent some other shitty damselfly from passing on his DNA. They have a spite penis, which is awesome. When sexy time is about to happen, the male damselfly doesn't just plow right in like a fucking noob. First, they do a little tidying up. Genetically speaking, if there's any sperm from another male that they deem to be subpar, and I'm not sure how they gauge that, but they make a call on that. Like they sniff it. I don't know. But they make a call. If it's subpar, it's not up to snuff, they use their squeegee-shaped insect penis to scrape the old sperm out to make sure their sperm is the stuff that gets used to fertilize. Apparently, this spite cleaning process, it takes a long time. It's like a really long cleaning thing. So damselflies often travel together in pairs over very long distances while that all happens.
All right, well, while we all break the news to Heath about felching, we're going to pause for a little apropos of nothing.
What's felching?
Hey, Phil.
Larry, have a seat. Grab a drink. The nectar they have on tap tonight is just amazing.
What's up, nerds?
Oh, hey, Buzz.
Yeah. Hey, Buzz.
Hey, what are you losers doing? Trying to get lucky?
Nope.
Never.
Nope. We're just drinking, hanging out, Buzz.
Yeah, that's great, whatever. I just got back from Niagara Falls, which was a bar up there. Bitches were all over me.
Yeah, Buzz?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I had like 10 of them. Couldn't get enough old buzz, you know what I mean?
No, man, I actually don't. I feel like I kind of had my fill before you started talking.
Ha! Good one, Gary.
It's Larry.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I went home with 2 of them. Gave him the old stinger, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't, Buzz. We're bees. That's literally not how our sexuality works, man.
Yeah, you said you had 10 female bees on you. Were they workers?
Man, I don't know if they workers, but they sure could work it. You know what I mean? Ha!
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah, did your dick explode, Buzz?
Well, you know, metaphorically.
You're a virgin, Buzz. We're all virgins, man. We die right after sex. Shut the fuck up.
You're a virgin.
I just said that.
You are.
And we're back from the bee fucking skit. Okay, if I had a nickel, right? So, Heath, where does the National Geographic Penthouse crossover take us next?
Excellent question. That brings us to the slug section of our Animal Fuck Odyssey, starting with the banana slug of UC Santa Cruz. When they're selecting a mate, banana slugs have to make sure they have similar physical size. In particular, the penis and the vagina have to match up really well, or else there's a strong chance of a tragic incident with a slug penis getting stuck in there forever. Now, this can be an awkward process, but safety is the bottom line, so they take it seriously. And on top of that concern, the female banana slug, she has to bite off the penis of her mate at the end of the deed in a process called apophilation. One theory is that it's necessary so they can physically separate. And another theory is that it's a way of guaranteeing the male doesn't go off and start fucking other banana slugs. It seems like it's the first one to me, but apparently there's 2 theories out there.
That's how a lot of dudes on Reddit think human sexuality works too, man.
I'm just picturing Slug Maury Povich like, Black Tar, you are the father. And everyone's like, we know, man, his dick is ripped off. It's ripped off. We got it.
So, another interesting technique we see in certain slugs and snails is a biological Cupid's arrow weapon. Leading up to a potential sexual encounter, the male in some of these species will shoot a sharp projectile made of calcium or hardened proteins.
Jesus.
It doesn't make the female snail like literally fall in love, but it pokes into their skin. It's actually probably the opposite. It's probably like super annoying. But the arrow introduces a chemical that makes the female reproductive system somehow more receptive to the sperm of the assailant. Then they fuck, you know, nice and slow, like regular style, like regular slug snail style.
I see that Heath did not take our notes about the level of sensuality you should describe snail fucking with, but that's fine. Everybody do their own
thing. It was
thing.
nice and slow. Wait, was your note to like not do that or to do that? To do it more? To describe the sensuality? It's not clear. So I feel like just everybody be more clear and, you know, I'll take the notes. So my other favorite slug in terms of its sexual behavior.
Okay, Heath, I need you to stop.
Yep. Yeah.
Just think about the life choices you made that led you to that sentence.
Yep.
That's
my
just give that a second. Just roll it around.
I said my other favorite slug in terms of its sexual.
Take some time.
How many do you guys have? I have 2 or more.
Okay.
Favorites.
That should be a problem.
Leopard slug. It's my other favorite is the leopard slug, everybody. It's the leopard slug. So this is another species that has both male and female organs, but they find that pairing off and inseminating each other is the best method once again. And in order to get the best angles, like geometric angles, the leopard slug found a way to fuck the other leopard slug while they're both dangling from a branch together in... well, it's a sex swing made of their shared slime. That's literally what it is.
God.
Yep, that's what happens. They rig up the swing, again, made of their shared slime. It's a fuck swing of shared slime. They rig that up, and then they hang down off the branch, and in a surprise twist that I was not expecting, they have enormous electric blue penises like Dr. fucking Manhattan that grow to almost the size of their whole body. And at the end of the sesh, one of the leopard slugs eats the slime-based fuck swing as a snack after the coitus. I imagine it's a big conflict to decide who gets to eat the fuck swing.
Yeah.
But they figured it out somehow.
Podcast listener, Heath has included a link to the fucking snails in our notes.
I did put a link there. Did you
which
guys all
is
watch
why
it?
I've included the word no in our notes.
Yep.
Seriously, nobody watched
I
it?
started, but it's like a 7-minute video. I'm not going to watch 7 minutes of fucking slug
I just fast
fucking,
forwarded
man.
to the best part.
Yeah, I only needed the first 90 seconds.
Listen,
I
turn
need
on
the
a lot
middle
of
90
porn.
seconds. I'm a middle
I turn on a
90
lot of
guy.
porn that's like 19 minutes long, and it's like, okay, 19 minutes, whatever. You just fast forward. Okay, next up, we have the marsupials, and they have a multi-phase breeding system that's pretty impressive. Female marsupials, including kangaroos, koalas, opossums, wombats, and sugar gliders, which are my fucking favorite. I love sugar gliders. They're the best. All those have 3 vaginas and 2 uteri. The left and right vaginas are dedicated for carrying sperm to the left and right uterus. The marsupial penis is actually 2-pronged, so it fits just right, and it inseminates both at the same time. You know, it's a numbers game, and they double the odds. It's a smart play. Meanwhile, the central vagina is the birth canal. From the central uterus, the newborn goes straight to the pouch of the marsupial where it keeps growing. The multiple vaginas and the pouch were likely to have developed in tandem. They kind of go together. The very small central vagina required the initial birth to be very small. So for kangaroos, for example, a newborn joey is the size of a jelly bean when they first go into the pouch, which is adorable.
It is adorable. But you know, one thing that really bothers me is that DP is so boring in the marsupial world. Just boring, vanilla sex.
Front page.
Also, that double penis guy on Reddit, that turns out he was just a kangaroo with slightly worse than normal Reddit hygiene.
So the multiple vaginas and multiple uteri system makes the female marsupial into a baby-making superhero in evolutionary terms. They can have 2 fetuses working at all times, plus, again, an adorable jelly bean-sized kangaroo in their pouch, plus a little toddler kangaroo just jumping around and, you know, punching people with boxing gloves or whatever they do.
That's what mine does.
It's like having redundant servers and backup generators, but for breeding. And these amazing moms are always closing a new birth until they don't want to. So they're killing it evolutionarily, but then they can stop if they need to. If there's a drought, for example, certain marsupials are capable of delaying a pregnancy until the conditions are better. And with multiple ovens and with the bun warmer thing, it's like how a restaurant can have stuff partially prepped for the big dinner rush and they can kind of like time it out. It's awesome.
Sorry, does anyone have a rope? Heath is lost pretty deep in this restaurant metaphor.
I think all that talk of devouring the slug slime fuck hammock made him hungry. So.
I did stop and have a snack. So another marsupial with an interesting yet tragic reproduction cycle is the Antechinus, found in Australia, Tasmania, and New Guinea. In almost every species of Antechinus.
It's a mouse, everyone. It's a mouse. Don't stop the podcast to Google it. It's a mouse.
It's so much cooler than a mouse.
It's a mouse.
Because it's from somewhere else. I don't know. It's from those places. Australia, Tasmania, and New Guinea. They're cooler. It's the Antechinus, and the life of the male is pretty much completely meaningless. But then all of a sudden, they fuck themselves to death in a mating marathon season, and that's their whole life. This type of suicidal mating behavior, it mostly happens in fish or insect populations, but the Antechinus is one of the few mammals that does it. It's likely the result of an environment with major volatility in the food supply from season to season. So the females, they evolved to have a quick burst of mating at the right time so that there's going to be plenty of food when the babies eventually arrive. And the males evolved to to have sex if at all possible. So they go along with it.
So they're males. You said they were males.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they never open a Tinder conversation by just saying, hey.
No, straight into it. During the mating season, the males run around frantically, just fucking every mate they can find for 14 hours at a time. That happens for about 3 weeks, and the males are almost dead by the end of this. They have a giant spike in stress hormones during this whole process. All their hair falls out. Their immune system pretty much shuts down completely, and they fucking die.
Okay. A giant spike in stress hormones, balding, and the eventual complete organ system shutdown. This sounds exactly like fatherhood. This checks. Yes.
And now that we got an introduction to the two-headed penis of the kangaroo, I think it's a perfect time to learn about a four-headed penis. Get excited. And of course, they appear in my favorite order of primitive mammals, the monotremes. Ooh, right? Monotremes? Who doesn't love a fucking monotreme?
I think it's a little bigoted to call them primitive, but yeah, okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Wow, Heath.
So
Canceled.
the monotremes are egg-laying mammals that have both mammalian and reptilian characteristics. And the way that played out is fucking amazing. Like the duck bill on a platypus, for example. When British zoologists first saw the platypus, they thought it was a hoax. They thought somebody like taped that on somehow. So the monotreme order, it includes the platypus, which has a two-headed penis, and of course the owner of the four-headed penis, the echidna. And I have put a picture of an echidna penis here for
I would
you.
have trusted you.
So the four-headed penis, it's not just for glamour, like you might think. It's all about functionality. The female echidna has a 2-track vagina input system, kind of like the marsupials. So the male is able to use half the penis at a time and kind of work them in shifts, like a team of sentries. But like kind of the opposite. But you know what I'm saying? Like half and half, and they go back and forth. And if he finishes up, and then there's another really good opportunity for mating right there, he's ready to go right away. No refractory period. Just goes right into the next one.
Wow. And a 4-track penis gives you a warmer sound.
Yeah.
And that's going to bring us to my second favorite all-time animal genitalia, the penis and vagina of the duck. I'll start with the duck penis, which looks like a corkscrew made of a kraken's evil tentacle. It's pretty terrifying. Like Spiral Pasta was a hentai monster as a duck penis. It's not good. So the duck penis can grow up to 18 centimeters in length. That's over 7 inches.
Jesus.
And that's even longer if you unspiral it. And that counts, by the way. That counts. Technically, it counts. If you unspiral it, you get the full distance when you measure it. The lake duck of South America actually holds the record for the largest avian penis in the world and the record for the largest penis to body length ratio of any vertebrate. And the individual record holder is a lake duck from Argentina who had a really weird day in 2002 when some guy measured his penis at 42.5 centimeters fully unwound. So that happened in his life.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Bill, you're back from the scientist. Did they give you one of these little tracker tag thingies?
Not quite, man. Not quite.
So, rough day. Yeah, that happened. So the duck penis is pretty impressive, but the duck vagina is the winner. So impressive.
Okay. Now you're just quoting from your toast at Eli's wedding.
I thought it was beautiful. It was an apt metaphor. So like the penis of the duck, the vagina has a long spiraling shape to it, but the female has the ability to change her body posture and therefore change the shape of that vagina track. If she likes a mate, she'll set it up to allow the corkscrew penis to wind its way in just right. But if she doesn't like him, it's like trying to use the wrong key on a lock. Like the wrong type of key. Like you have a skeleton key and it's just like a modern key thing and you just can't get it anywhere into the right area. And for extra security, the duck vagina has a series of, this is my favorite, they have dead end pockets as a fake out.
What?
And they spiral in the opposite direction of the penis in the fake out areas. So this stops the penis from getting all the way in. And biologist Patricia Brennan was able to prove this by somehow getting male ducks to put their dicks into glass tubes that have all different shapes and seeing how those penises got blocked by the different shapes of glass.
Okay, now that is a research grant proposal that I would read all of. Like, okay, we're also going to need $1,000 for a custom glass blower to make fake out see-through duck pussies. And duck lube. Of course. God, science is expensive.
All right, so I've known about the spiral duck penis for a while. How do they have to spin around to get in? I don't understand the physics of it, though, right?
It's all in the hips,
cartwheels.
It's in the hips. It's a lot of. It's like a hula hoop.
Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy.
Some duck was trying to do it, and like the male duck, and it wasn't working because they got to one of those dead ends, and they were like, "Fuck, is it back? All right, I'm gonna go upside down now. If it goes, no, all right, that doesn't geometrically.
Lefty
I thought that
Lucy,
would
hold on,
it would still be.
Stop pushing the button while I'm trying to unlock it.
Can you do like a Superfly snooker thing by any chance? Yeah. So, last but certainly not least, next up, final up on the list, we have my number one all-time favorite animal genitalia, owned by the Argonaut octopus.
Fuck yeah.
Right? It's also called the paper nautilus, which refers to the paper-thin egg case that's released by females as part of the reproduction cycle. That's important because the Argonaut penis can very easily fertilize the egg case without lots of physical force. And here's how that works. It happens using the autonomous penis method. That's right. The Argonaut, it just swims around, doing Argonaut stuff, doing its thing, and its penis will detach itself completely and then swim around separately looking for lady egg cases. When scientists first saw this, they thought it was a parasitic worm, but it's actually a very literal disembodied self-driving penis that finds eggs. And eventually it also comes back home somehow, I'm pretty sure.
It's a homing penis?
Unless you try to fuck while you're watching Kung Fu Panda, then it ends in disaster.
They actually call that detachable penis a king missile.
All right, so Heath, if you had to summarize what you learned in one sentence, what would it be?
It's a sexual predator drone. It's really problematic. Okay, I learned one thing. I'm going to say CRISPR technology is going to be amazing for like dick and vagina stuff. We're going to get some interesting stuff going on.
Yeah, man. Way to end on a high note. So are you ready for the quiz?
I am ready.
All right, Heath. You've written the following essays here on Citation Needed.
Eugenics. I don't need to list it all. All right.
Penis size. Pornhub 2017 year in review. History of sexology. Fuck robots. Pornhub 2019 year in review.
Because 2 years later. Yeah.
And now this one on the sexual behavior of non-human animals.
Correct.
A. You okay, man?
I am not, if I'm being honest.
That is correct.
Correct.
All right, Heath. Humans, too, have some pretty impressive penis tricks. What are some best known? A. There are actually 6 complete wankers sitting on the Supreme Court. B. A total cock is the Senate minority leader. Or C. A useless dick just slunk out of the White House.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that's definitely D, all the above. No question.
Damn it. It's always the D.
It's the D. It's the theme of today's lesson.
All right, speaking of the D.
It's the V, too.
Here we go, Heath. What is the best name for an alligator's switchblade penis? A boning knife. B, a scrutility knife. C, hunting knife. That doesn't work. I'm sorry. Cunting. Forget it. Anyway, D, beaver cleaver. Which also works for a 1950s TV show as well.
I feel like I like scrutility knife, like a Swiss Army knife.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was the most obvious one. Boning knife.
Oh,
that was stupid.
Obvious.
One way or the other, Cecil was going to win for Beaver Cleaver. So yeah, Cecil, you'll be this week's winner. You get to pick next week's.
All right, it's been like 2.5 weeks. Tom, why don't you write another one?
Yay! Hey, someone's probably cold and dying somewhere.
Right? All right, well, for Tom, Cecil, Eli, and Heath, I'm Noah, thanking you for hanging out with us today. We'll be back next week. By then, Tom will be an expert on something else between now and then. You can hear more from Tom and Cecil on the Cognitive Dissonance podcast or by checking out their new book, The Grand Unified Theory of Bullshit. Available wherever that particular book is sold. You can also hear more from Eli, Heath, and me on 4 times as many podcasts and 3 times as many books. Not like there's a contest going or anything. That's just the numbers. That's how the numbers work out. And if you'd like to help keep this show going, you can make a per episode donation at patreon.com/citationpod or leave us a 5-star review everywhere you can. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, check out past episodes, connect with us on social media, or check the show notes, be sure to check out citationpod.com.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/getstarted. That's GREENLIGHT.com/getstarted.